Brian. So you want the under in Kings Pistons. I wonder what the cap's going to be on this one. Lay it on me.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham is out, and that's really where this starts and ends. I believe this is the first game he's going to miss this season. And Cade Cunningham, for people who haven't been tracking, has the 14th highest usage in the NBA. Now, I don't know how Detroit is going to make up that offense. I don't know how they're going to really score at all at a high rate. They're surprisingly going over in a lot of games as a home underdog, which was surprising to me. But again, I think that's largely driven by Cade Cunningham. The second highest usage guy on the team is Jaden Ivey. He's at 22. I like Jaden Ivey, but if you're going to run offense through him for an entire game, I don't know what that's going to look like, even against the Sacramento Kings. Beyond that, you're looking at Asar Thompson and Killian Hayes, and also Isaiah Stewart, who's still injured. So I just don't know where the offense is going to come from for me to get to where, okay, they're going to meet the Kings and go over 241.5. Like, that was a little strange to me. The Kings also, and this is probably more relevant because they're not missing one of their best guys, and like how the Detroit Pistons are missing Cade Cunningham. The Kings, as a road favorite, have gone under 5 of 9 times this season. And I think that they'll probably put up the points because these are the Pistons after all. But I think, without Cade Cunningham, which is pretty alarming to me as to how Detroit could muster up enough offense, I think this is going under because I don't know how they're going to put a consistent amount of points on the board without their engine being there.
I project this under anyway. I mean, that's before the Cade injury. The spot's also great here too. You mentioned them as a road favorite. Just the Kings overall, 10-5 ATS, or 10-5 to the under in road games this season, and we're seeing the same trend from last year. And this trend is bonkers. Okay, so the Kings have defense, right? Like, that's pretty well known. Like, the Kings have defense. Okay, so last season, I was trying to figure out why. Like, what their win-loss record kind of looked like, right? And I was trying to dig in all these types of things. And I found something really weird. And I mentioned it on Buckets a couple of times, but if you're new to the show, the Kings had the second best defense on the road last season and were 29th at home. That's crazy. That's wild, okay? And that's just like a crazy ass, like, where does that come from? That can't possibly have any meaning. Check this out. Just look this up. This season, at home, 27th. In defensive rating at home. Okay, but we know that the defense sucks. What's it on the road, you might ask? They're 9th. They have the 9th best defense amongst all teams on the road this season. So, for whatever reason, the Kings play much better defense on the road. So that combined with the Cade angle on this, I'm with you. Cade was playing great. He was playing, like, his shooting was up. He was playing very smooth. This team is turnover prone. I just saw him in Denver. Killian Hayes trying to run that second unit was a disaster. The Kings are going to score repeatedly, so that's going to be the danger here. Is the Kings may put up a big number that hurts you on this, but that also is going to make it harder for Detroit because they're just going to be going against a set defense, and that'll be a little bit tougher for them. So, yeah, I will tail you on this and take the under on Kings and Pistons. At a number of 241.5. Do you have a breaking point for this? Is there a number you don't want it
at? Because of, what if the Kings actually put up 135 or whatever, and Detroit, like, yes, they might not get a lot of offense, but could they get over 100? It'll scare me if we get to, like, I don't know, maybe 240.
You want it? I guess the question here is, do you want it sub 240?
Yeah, that's probably it.
The reason I ask is the consensus open on this game was 243.5, and we're already at 241.5. It's moved a point and a half. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday morning and this has gone below 240, just be advised that Brian doesn't like it nearly as much. That you've already lost now 4 points of steam, 3.5. That might be too much steam for you to lose on this one. Jay, you got thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Cade being out is going to be huge. This Pistons team, they are a scrappy team. I don't know what to do with this game. I mean, obviously, I don't really look at a ton of totals. I just like to look at it from the sides. But I just want to give some credit to Kevin Knox, man. I was kind of like way off of him, and he's actually been balling for the Detroit Pistons. So I'm not sure what they're going to do like for the second unit, but I do like what I'm seeing from Kevin Knox. Aside of the fact that the Kings are coming off a major bounce-back game after getting slaughtered by the Pelicans, one thing I've noticed, this Kings team isn't the same as last year. And Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that De'Aaron Fox kind of like He chose not to sign like an extension or something like that for the Kings, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that might be starting to mess with them. But something I've noticed, this Kings team is not that same team that made it to the playoffs last year for whatever reason, whether it's at the house or on the road. I still, even without Cade Cunningham and off of a bad loss, I still don't trust him laying 11 and a half on the road.